Once upon a time, there was a man whose heart burned with a deep longing for self-knowledge and self-realization. His entire life was a journey in search of a master who could teach him the mysteries of meditation. He went from one teacher to another, hoping to find the guidance he sought, but his efforts seemed to be in vain. As the years passed, he grew tired and weary. His spirit was worn thin, yet his desire for true understanding remained unquenched. One day, a wise elder told him, "If you truly seek a master, you must journey to the Himalayas. There, in some hidden corner of the mountains, lives a monk. No one knows exactly where he resides, for whenever someone finds him, he moves deeper into the Himalayan ranges. But one thing is certain, he is there, waiting for those who are destined to find him." Though the man was getting old, a flicker of hope ignited in his heart. For 2 long years, he worked tirelessly to save enough money for the journey. When he finally set out, he faced a daunting adventure. This was an old story, a time when travel meant riding camels and horses and trekking on foot across rugged terrains. Finally, after months of relentless travel, he reached the vast, majestic Himalayas. He began asking the villagers about the monk. "Yes," they would say, "we have heard of the ancient sage. No one knows his exact age or where he lives, but they say he is somewhere in the mountains. If you search with a pure heart and a determined spirit, you are bound to find him." For 2 more years, the man wandered through the treacherous Himalayas. His body grew frail. He lived off wild fruits, leaves, and grass. His clothes were tattered, his feet blistered and bleeding, and his spirit wavered on the brink of despair. Yet, the fire within him refused to die out. He was resolved to find the monk, even if it meant sacrificing his life. Then, one day, just as the last embers of his hope began to fade, he saw a small, weathered hut on a distant mountain peak. His body was so weak that he could barely stand, but with whatever strength remained, he crawled toward the hut. With trembling hands, he pushed open the door. The interior was barren and silent. Dust floated in the air, illuminated by the slanting rays of the sun. The hut had clearly been abandoned for years. Crushed by disappointment, the man's last ounce of hope crumbled. Tears streamed down his face as he staggered outside and collapsed onto the ground, surrendering to his exhaustion. He whispered brokenly, "I give up. I don't want anything anymore." And in that moment, as he lay under the vast Himalayan sky, a cool breeze swept over him. For the first time in his life, he felt an overwhelming sense of peace and bliss. His mind, which had been a storm of thoughts and desires, fell silent. A radiant light filled his being, and he felt as though he was merging with the very essence of existence. It was then that he became aware of a presence. Opening his eyes, he saw an ancient monk standing over him, a gentle smile playing on his lips. "So, you have come," the monk said softly. "Do you have anything to ask me?" The man gazed at the monk, and from a place deep within his soul, he replied, "No, there is nothing left to ask." Hearing this, the monk began to laugh, a deep, joyful laugh that echoed through the valleys and seemed to dance with the wind. "So now you know what meditation is," the monk said. The man nodded, his heart brimming with understanding. "Yes, now I know," he whispered. In our own lives, we often hear the word meditation, but few truly grasp its meaning. Many try to meditate, only to feel frustration when their minds refuse to be still. The truth is, meditation isn't something that can be forced or attained through mere effort. It is a state of being that naturally arises when the mind is ready, when we surrender our desires and let go of our striving. Like the man in the story, we may struggle and strive for enlightenment, only to find it when we finally release our need to control and simply let go. In that moment of surrender, true peace and bliss emerge, untouched by the chaos of the outside world. So, when you sit to meditate, don't strain yourself with expectations or desires. Focus gently on your breath and allow yourself to be. Let go of your goals and surrender to the present moment. With patience and practice, there will come a time when, unexpectedly, a profound sense of peace will blossom within you. And in that stillness, you will realize that the happiness you have been seeking has always been within your own heart and mind, waiting for you to simply be.